I am not a minimalist, and you don't have to be one either in order to have a clutter-free home. But there are 3 simple rules that I follow in my home and my life. These 3 rules have freed me from an overabundance of things, wasting money, and compulsively shopping, allowing me to focus on what truly matters. Let's jump into these 3 easy rules. Rule number 1 to keeping our homes clutter-free is to combat the just-in-case mindset. A few years ago, I had a student in one of my psychology classes share with me that her home was overrun with clutter. And she had this incredible fear that if she got rid of something, she might need it further down the road. Her just-in-case mindset was so debilitating that literally there were some rooms in her home that you couldn't see the floor or the window anymore. She felt overly attached to her clothing, gifts people had given her over the years, her high school yearbooks, her kids' artwork. She couldn't part with any of it. Then one day, she woke up at 2 a.m. to the smell of smoke in her home. She quickly scrambled to get out of bed and realized there was smoke coming into her apartment from the hallway. She ran to wake up her kids, grabbing their coats. It was the middle of winter, shoes, and her purse, scooping up the dog, and shuffling the entire family out on the fire escape. They were thankfully able to make it out of the home with nobody getting hurt. However, her entire apartment and most of the building burned down. They lost everything. Such trauma can really impact a person. Imagine losing all of your possessions in an instant. She was, of course, incredibly happy that her entire family was safe and unharmed. But what about their things? I asked her, how did she feel about losing all her belongings? And her answer shocked me. She said,
Margo, it was a blessing.
Things are just things. They have no feelings, no emotions, other than those we place upon them. What many of us don't realize is that we as humans are incredibly adaptable, and that even if we don't have something, we will come up with a creative way to make it work. Now, losing everything in a fire is quite extreme, and most of us would mourn for a long time. But my student felt liberated. She felt like something she struggled with was done for her, and she was grateful that she can start fresh. What an interesting perspective. Purchasing 20 cans of corn, 6 cleaning products, or even multiple packs of toilet paper fills up the house real quick. And is it practical? Can't you run to the store for a multi-purpose cleaner when you run out? Or a nail polish. We keep so many other things for just in case. Clothing because we might go up or down a size. Sweaters we haven't worn in years because they might come back in style. High heel shoes because we used to rock them 10 years ago and now can barely tolerate wearing them for more than 5 minutes because our big toe starts to throb. I used to suffer from the just-in-case mindset, and it was incredibly difficult to overcome. It essentially came down to me weighing the pros and cons of such a mindset. Is having a home full of clutter, a home that suffocates me, that makes my anxiety symptoms worse, a place where I can't relax in, is that worth the rare chance that I may need a pair of shoes I decluttered, or a spice, or a pan, or an extra set of plates? And the answer was no. And this is how I now function in my home. Now, I want to be fully transparent. This is not something that just happens overnight. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. But it's really, we go through seasons in our life and we have moments where we've even been told to oh, you have so much stuff and you don't need all this. And the just in case mindset is no big deal. You can, we have access to Amazon. You can run out to the store. But until it clicks with you, until you internalize it, right? Until you feel that you need to make the change, not because somebody else said it, but because one day you wake up and you look around your home and you're like, I don't want to live like this anymore. That realization is really the first step. And then, of course, it's taking action and building new habits. And anyone who's telling you that this happens overnight is lying, because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. There's so many new skills that you have to learn. There's so many new habits we have to build. And all of us know change is hard. Building habits is hard. But once I had that realization where I was like, my home filled with inanimate objects that I hold on to for just in case reasons is actually making my physical symptoms worse, making my mental health symptoms worse. Like I was like, I just gave all of my power to a bunch of stuff. And I got angry. And I was like, this is not okay. And I was like, you know what? It is not rational or reasonable for me to hold on to like 12 packs of Bounty or toilet paper or extra beauty products. I'm like, it's okay to just have a few, just enough, right? Maybe a little bit of extra, and I can always go out and buy some more. And it like literally like smacked me in the face. And I was like, okay, I felt more liberated. I was like, we can do this. And this is how I now function in my home. If I encounter an item that I haven't needed or searched for in a while, I let it go. This works particularly well with those surprised items.
You know, those where you go, I didn't even know I had this.
If I didn't know I had it, that means that I clearly did not miss it, so I probably don't need it and can let it go. Looking for help to declutter your home? I host a free live workshop on Zoom where I teach you how to create a decluttering plan for your entire space. The secret sauce is in the planning. I'll leave a link in the description for more information. Minimalist habit number 2 from a non-minimalist is never leave your home without a shopping list. This one has been a game changer for me. I used to have a lack mindset. We immigrated here when I was 8 years old from the Ukraine, and let's just say we had very little growing up. So when I was old enough to start working and making money, I made it a point to compulsively shop every weekend. The sheer act of buying something made me feel abundant, even if it was random junk I didn't need. Fast forward to 10 years later, and I had a huge clutter problem on my hands. Curbing my shopping habits took a lot of work and therapy. Some of our habits stem from childhood trauma, and for new habits to form and for us to stick with them, I'm a firm believer that we have to first understand the root cause of the problem. Battling my upbringing demons, I was finally able to break free of that and realize that I don't need to buy stuff just because it says sale, and that I'm just as abundant and safe in my home, more so with less stuff. Since then, I've never shopped without a list. If it's not on the list, I'm not buying it. If I encounter an item and I'm like, oh, but this is such a great price and I absolutely love it, I will practice self-discipline. I will have like a pep talk with myself at Home Goods and be like,
Margo, put it down, walk away.
And that is exactly what I do. I will walk away. I will not buy it if it's not on the list. I will come home and then I will wait 1 day, 2 days. If after 2 days I still want it, I will go back and get it. But the truth is, after 2 days, I've completely forgotten about the product. So give shopping with a list a try and let me know how it goes. If you're getting value from my video, contribute to my coffee addiction by smashing that like button. Rule number 3 is having a minimalist wardrobe. Yes, I am not a minimalist in my home, but I am a minimalist when it comes to my wardrobe. You would probably laugh if you saw how much clothing I actually have. My entire annual wardrobe, now I live in New York, so we have season changes. My entire annual wardrobe fits in 2 dresser drawers. Let's just say that I have to do laundry every single week because I essentially will have nothing to wear otherwise. Many years ago, I stumbled on something called Project 333 and first learned about capsule wardrobing. Or is it wardrobe capsuling? I always get those two mixed up. Conveniently, this happened at a time when I really needed it. I had just gotten divorced and me and my daughter were downsizing to a smaller apartment. As a 2-year-old at that time, my daughter came with a lot of stuff. And so did I. Now, one of us had to compromise and downsize their wardrobe, and my daughter looked at me and she just said,
No.
Having only one small closet in the new apartment, there was just no way we would fit with all of her clothing and mine. So I had to take a hit. When I heard about Project 333, I was like, okay, super extreme, but heck, I need a way to live on less clothing, so I decided to give it a try. I went through all of my clothing and for the fall only left 33 items, putting the rest in a bin underneath the bed. Yes, for just in case. And by the way, for more on Project 333 rules, you can check out this video here. So I tried this out the first time for the fall, and guess what happened? I survived. I couldn't believe it. I actually was able to live with less clothing for an entire season. It was awesome. There was no decision fatigue in choosing what to wear. Getting dressed took like a minute, and I literally was happy wearing every single item. Mind blowing. I continued to do this every single season, decluttering as I went. And I also started replacing some of my cheaper items with more expensive ones, so this way they would last longer. This wardrobe transformation took more than a year. And I'm honestly now down to the bare minimums, and I literally love every single item I own. I truly recommend this practice, even though it might seem incredibly crazy at first. Like, how can we possibly survive on only 33 items per season? I honestly now survive on even less than that. But cutting down my wardrobe has saved me a ton of money, time, and of course space, because New York City apartments are incredibly tiny, and yeah, we don't have much closets. If you want to achieve a clutter-free home this year, learn how hiring me as a decluttering coach can help you do just that. You can check out more information in the description. You don't have to be a minimalist to reap the benefits of having less in your life. You can just choose to clutter the things that no longer serve you in this season of your life. For help decluttering your entire home, you can check out this video here. As always, good luck on your decluttering journey. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to be good to yourself.